Tonight, it's me, Micheal Lukomwa. Elizabeth Nakakoni joins in for sign language interpretation, and let's start with a look at the top stories we have for you this evening. Dismisses Robert Chagulanyi's case for contempt of court. Uganda Bureau of Statistics extends census dates to May 25th. Iran President Ibrahim Raisi dies in helicopter crash, while IM Segwanyi and WCM Ampire best in Sedgewood chess camp. Thank you so much for joining us. It's News Tonight. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, in a first story, met with a delegation of Italian investors interested in funding and constructing a railway line from Tororo to Majanji. The delegation, led by the Italian ambassador to Uganda, Mauro Massoni, seeks to enter into direct negotiations with Ugandan authorities. Their goals are to finalize the feasibility study and, if possible, construct the 62-kilometer railway line from Tororo to Majanji in Busia district on Lake Victoria, along with a port at Majanji. President Museveni noted that construction of the Tororo-Majanji railway line will cater for the traffic from northern Uganda and South Sudan, I beg your pardon. He added that although government is to start construction of the standard gauge railway linking straight from the Kenyan border to Kampala, the one from Tanzania will take long to come which means they will be using the lake through Majanji Island to Tororo in Uganda. Blois Vicencio, representing the Italian investors, informed the president of their desire to establish an academy to train Ugandans in the latest railway construction and maintenance technologies. The Uganda Bureau of Statistics has declared extension of the enumeration dates starting 20th to 25th of May to complete the enumeration process. With over 10.4 million households covered so far, Uganda Bureau of Statistics has achieved 98% coverage of the census enumeration, and a 5-day extension will allow for enumerators to complete their scope of coverage.
Hindrances and challenges registered during the designated census period have prompted UBOS to add an extra 5 days for the exercise to allow enumerators complete uncovered areas.
It is a continuation of the assignment that was given to the local governments and to the UBOS staff, who are now enumerators and supervisors, to complete the job that was started. So it's not a fresh assignment. It is simply allowing everybody to complete the job that they undertook to start from the beginning.
The mop-up period is extended to hard-to-reach areas and those affected by network and immobility. The affected areas include Greater Kampala, Karimajong, Kabong, among others.
That all areas that had difficulties in beginning, that started late. And these, Greater Kampala is one of them. We have areas in Karamoja like Karenga, Kabong, Amdat. This one started late. A number of urban areas started late. And even within some districts, some sub-counties started late. So all these collectively are the reason this waiver has been given.
Uganda Bureau of Statistics has achieved 98% of its census goal, with coverage of over 10.4 million households within the last days.
This moment in time, let's be patriotic. This exercise has been embraced by everybody. Everybody wants to be enumerated. It's covered as of midnight last night was 10.4 million. As of last night, 10.4 million households. That's what was covered as of midnight last night. This is about 98% cut.
Relatedly, police have recorded cases of stolen census enumeration materials, with 7 tablets reported stolen and 3 residents in Busia arrested for refusal to participate in census.
Where we had a head of a family identified as Wanyama Joseph, and he declined and said that his family had already been calculated by God. So we arrested him, that is Wabwire Colin, and 3 other members of his family.
Patricia Nandago and Rogers Komagong for UBC.
The Uganda People's Defence Forces will conduct a mass recruitment of regular forces for the infantry beginning July this year. Individuals aged 18 to 22 can apply, obtain recommendations from their local councils, and must have completed Senior 4 between 2020 and 23. Ivan Kahwa reports that the exercise will include direct recruitment into the UPDF.
The UPDF has announced the recruitment of a regular force with the exercise running from 1st July to 14th July 2024. The aim is to recruit 9,627 soldiers into the infantry nationwide.
The quotas for potential recruits are computed by the proportion of the population of each city stroke district of Uganda based on the updated population as of 25th June 2023 by UBOS.
Aspiring candidates are required to present recommendations from their local councils, an original national identity card, and must be Ugandan citizens to participate in the exercise.
Aspiring candidates applying to join the regular force will get recommendations from LC 1, 2, 3, the GISO, Gombola Internal Security Officer, and the DISO.
Now, all those interested in joining the Uganda People's Defence Forces in this phase of recruitment must be aged between 18 and 22. And according to the Uganda People's Defence Forces spokesperson, Brigadier Felix Klaije, they must have sat Senior 4 between 2020 and 2023. And preferably, they should have passed mathematics and English.
You must undergo this training and be ready to be deployed in the infantry units. So, me, I'm a professional, I did this. Sorry, we have said qualification, Uganda certificate of education.
Members of the public are urged to submit their applications to the RDCs in their respective districts from 27th May to 2nd June.
The application forms are on the UPDF website. In other words, you just download the form, fill it, and then you take to the RDC's office.
Once the applications have reached us at the headquarters, we shall have to confirm those applications and we'll have to conduct the sorting. The sorting criteria is ours, so you may not need that.
Shortlists will be posted at the RDC offices between 17th and 23rd June 2024, indicating those who qualify to join the army. These individuals will then proceed to designated district headquarters for further interviews. Ivan Kahwa, Nahabwe Charity, UBC News.
The Uganda Police has specified the designated routes and safety procedures for pilgrims trekking for Namugongo Matters Day celebrations to be held on the 3rd of June. The police spokesperson Fred Enanga, while addressing the media, called for the pilgrims to be cautious of any hazardous individuals along their pilgrimages.
It is about 2 weeks to 3rd June Matters Day celebrations, with over hundreds of thousands of pilgrims expected to Namugongo. Police has ordered its constables along major pilgrimage routes to observe that the pilgrims moving to Namugongo from neighboring countries and far along districts trek safely.
The pilgrims from the DRC, Rwanda, Kisoro, and Rwanda districts on the 19th were hosted at Nyakatugunda Catholic Church in Rwanda Town Council. The police is escorting them, traffic personnel are guiding them. So we are aware of the pilgrims who are on their maiden journey to Kampala City and Namugongo.
Road users along major pilgrimage routes are cautioned to observe safety of the pilgrims on the road.
And we urge them to be extra vigilant and cautious while going through the city and heavy traffic. They should also watch against criminals and fraudsters who target phones and other valuables. Once again, we would like to wish all pilgrims the year 2024 a safe journey to Namugongo.
Meanwhile, the Directorate of Criminal Intelligence has set a 10 million bounty for Dr. Aaron Lawrence, a Chambogo University lecturer who is on the run over charges of aggregated defilement.
And we request whoever has the information to pass it in confidence to the nearest police station or contact CID headquarters on telephone number 0741 111 333. We believe that he could still be hiding within the country with the help of his closest relatives and friends. But we also have processed a warrant of arrest that we've submitted to Interpol to issue a red notice for him.
Police warned the leaders of the National Unity Platform over carrying out their planned consultative rallies around the country without police clearance.
The suspension of these mobilization activities continues until when the NUP leadership complies with the police guidelines and continue to be law-abiding. We are aware that they have come up with a schedule that has not been shared with us, where they have vowed to defiantly continue with their consultative mobilization tours.
Police have also arrested 4 suspected criminals of the gang that disguises as taxi operators and end up robbing the public. They have been charged of murder, rape and kidnap in the areas of Kampala Metropolitan. Police cautions the public and intending passengers over the use of empty taxis. Komagum Rogers for UBC.
Pilgrims from Nebi Diocese on trek to Namugongo Martyrs Shrine have arrived at St. Maria Catholic Church in Kafu, Kiriandongo district, where they will spend Monday night en route to Mijera in Nakasongola district. This follows a one-day rest from Kigumba on Sunday, as Robert Onyango reports.
The Catholic pilgrims from Nebi Diocese are on their way covering the journey to Namugongo Martyrs Shrines.
For now, I am still strong, with only some slight muscle strain, which I know with time will get off. We are still here moving, and also not only moving, praying as well.
After one day resting at St. Mary Catholic Church in Ichigumba, Kiandongo district, on Sunday 19th May 2024, they have this Monday morning re-embarked on the journey to Kampala.
We are in St. Maria Catholic Church. Yes, we are very happy to reach here, and now we have planted trees which is resembling this pilgrimage.
This time round, the 31-kilometer trek from Kigumba has dropped them at St. Maria Catholic Church in Kafu for a one-night faithful sleep.
To spend here in Kafu, and we are just exactly at St. Maria Catholic Church Kafu, and some of our friends are not all that fine, because you find that some people are not used to walking a long distance.
The distance between Kafu and Kampala is close to 200 kilometers.
And this is actually the journey we have taken, even to have a lot of pain, to persevere, just like how the Ugandan martyrs persevered and they gave their life for the faith. So what we are doing is not even half of what they did, but we want to strive at least to make this journey from Nebi to Namugongo.
Robert Nyango, UBC News.
National Unity Platform President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu and former Forum for Democratic Change leader Dr. Kizza Besigye have appeared before the Human Rights Commission headed by Mariam Wangadya to hear their charges of torture and human rights violations. They were unhappy, and there was a heated exchange between Kyagulanyi and Wangadya, which forced Kyagulanyi to intervene and withdraw his case.
The Human Rights Commission Court, headed by Mariam Wangadya, has resumed hearings on human rights violations. The trial of 16 people is scheduled to take 3 days, but it has started with the first hearing of the cases of politicians.
This is a continuation of our Kampala session, starting today. It will last 3 days. We have a total of 16 complaints, and to us, every complainant, every person who comes before our court is equal.
The case was filed by Dr. Kizza Besigye in 2012, alleging that he was arrested and detained in government custody but not taken to court, and house arrest when he wanted to exercise his rights.
We also got summons for this hearing rather late. I was up country, so I actually got to know of this hearing at the end of last week.
The 16 complaints we are hearing this session, there is one case which was brought by Colonel Retired Dr. Kizza Besigye, and it is at defense level. The Attorney General brought one witness who testified today.
Prosecution witness Colonel Stephen Basaliza rejected Dr. Besigye's allegations of abuse.
What I know is that his movement were restricted. Although that was the jurisdiction of Kasangat, it was not under my jurisdiction.
However, as Dr. Besigye was not accompanied by his lawyer, Lord Mayor Salong Erias Lukwago, the hearing of the evidence on the part of the prosecution was not possible.
Ennaku olwaleero lawyer wange mu Lord Salong Erias Lukwago tasobodde kubeerawo kubanga kyali mugonvugonvu.
Erias Lukwago was unable to come today. Dr. Besigye told us that he's unwell. So that case was heard. The defense witness testified, and at the next session, he will be cross-examined.
Dr. Besigye said he has little hope in the commission after presenting many cases before the commission that flopped.
Kale ebintu bya wano tetulinamu nnyo ssuubi tibirina kye bisobola okuyamba.
Meanwhile, the case filed by no President Robert Kyagulanyi against the government for denying him to perform concerts on torturing him during the campaign of MP Kassiano Wadri in 2018 has not been heard here.
The case on December 17th over the violation of my rights, my right to earn a living, cancelling more than 20 of my shows, but they went ahead to cancel even many more after we filed the complaint. The complaint has never been heard. They've never given us a hearing.
The court's chairperson, Mariam Wangadia, has dismissed him from her committee for contempt of court.
If that is the personal statement you're making, you are not going any further.
Madam Chair,
you are represented, you have to speak through your lawyers.
But
if you want to
speak, Madam
I will
Chair,
not allow you to accuse this commission of violating human rights.
Kyagulanyi told reporters that the commission is biased and that's why he does not need to waste time.
No. And today when I was making my personal statement, she blocked me, she stopped it, clearly showing that she's biased. So for that reason and many other reasons, we had no option but to withdraw our complaint from her office because she cannot be an independent, she cannot be an impartial arbiter in this matter.
Robert Kyagulanyi's lawyer George Musisi said the commission's delay was a sign of human rights violation.
Based on the track record of the chairperson of the commission and the comments that she has been making in public regarding violation of human rights, as such, our client lost confidence in the commission and he has withdrawn the complaint.
Commission chairperson Mariam Wangadia told journalists that when Kyagulanyi was summoned to the commission, his lawyer said he was not present.
It happened when we started hearing this case at the last session. The delay was caused by him. He did not show up. So we again rescheduled it for hearing. Today when he came, he could not let us hear the case.
Mary Namkose, Jamil Sekaja, UBC News.
The Public Accounts Committee of Parliament has quizzed officials from Uganda Police Force over the bucket system that offenders in many districts continue to use as place of convenience, coupled with non-separation of suspects at detention facilities. The chairperson, Park Muhammad Mwanga Chivumbi, says that police was given money they requested in financial year 2022-23 but has not prioritized sales for defenders.
Officials from Uganda Police Force, led by the newly appointed Director of ICT who represented the IGP, have appeared before the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament to answer queries of the Auditor General for financial year 2022-2023. Police had a budget of 980.4 billion shillings, but Ministry of Finance gave them 963.3 billion shillings. The chairperson of the committee decided to engage officials on queries on non-financial matters since files for financials lacked some information. Reports of the Auditor General show that out of 72 sampled stations across the regions, only 11 had detention facilities of all categories, which prompted MPs to question where police detains people.
Stations without any detention cells, 3. So
having these children mixed with women and men, some people might leave the cells pregnant, and you are actually now causing domestic violence.
But I think at this particular point it would be very, if police today would tell us the detention capacity that we have across the country, and we look at the gaps based on the numbers that they continue to receive.
We are building new police stations now. We have detention facilities for the male, female, and juveniles.
On the bucket system, the report indicated that the Auditor General sampled 60 police stations, and 19 of these still had a bucket system. Members of Parliament questioned officials from police why they are not prioritizing detention cells.
Where the oil city has Hoima Road Division and other stations with a bucket system. So the district with the highest bucket system is Hoima. That should be noted.
The system means that in the night, even during the day, these police cells don't have toilet facilities. So they put a bucket. That's where can I put it in proper language? That's why you relate.
Police officials, however, say the new stations constructed have catered for the problem.
Bucket system, we are at 60% in terms of have that program of removing the bucket system in the old stations, and in the new stations, all these categories are taken care of.
On management of transport facilities, the Auditor General noted that 800 motorcycles were grounded.
At a 5.1 billion now, plus the other 5, that is 40 billion. What's of transport equipment grounded?
Probably maybe the word grounded is not being understood. Vehicles which are grounded or motorcycles which are grounded, they are only grounded after they have been condemned by the inspector of vehicles that they are no longer mechanically fit.
Most of these queries, including the query of 362 suspects found detained in 42 police stations for more than 48 hours, were sustained by the committee. I'm Nafka Farida and Gloria Gwitabinji at Parliament.
From Parliament, we'll take a short break. Please keep it with us. We have more.
The Uganda National Oil Company, UNOC, is wholly owned by the government of Uganda and was established to safeguard and promote Uganda's commercial interests in the petroleum sector. UNOC has two subsidiaries, the Uganda Refinery Holding Company, URHC, which will hold a 40% stake in the 60,000 barrel per day refinery and manage the development of Kabalega Industrial Park, and the National Pipeline Company Limited, NPC, in charge of pipelines, storage, and downstream business ventures. This subsidiary holds 15% interest in the East African Crude Oil Pipeline, EACOP. EACOP is a 1,445-kilometer long pipeline that will transport crude oil through 10 districts in Uganda to the port of Tanga in Tanzania. UNOC is also actively engaged in crude oil exploration, development, and production activities, and its participation role includes a 15% stake in the Tilenga, Nwoya, and Bulisa, and Kingfisher development projects, Chikure. UNOC also holds the exploration license for Kasuruban Block in Hoima, Bulisa, and Masindi. UNOC currently owns and manages the Ginger Storage Terminal and will build a 320 million litre capacity terminal in MPG called the Kampala Storage Terminal. At UNOC, we're harnessing the potential of Uganda's petroleum resources, forging a sustainable future and preserving the natural beauty of Uganda. UNOC, your partner in Uganda's oil and gas industry.
Morning time wao mwami wange nangamba yesterday bamukubiddeko essimu aba MTN nga bamugamba nti awangudde ssente school fees owa Andrew. In fact tuli awo nga tukyabuusabuusa naye nzikiriza mazima nga maze kulabako ate at the first nalinga ndowooza oba MTN balina ebintu byabwe bapanga nga sirabako ku neighbor wange nga bamukubidde kasimu. Twebaza abe MTN bannange okutuddizaawo bannaayo okuddiza guba mwoyo tweyanziza tweyanzeege omuzadde yenna ali eyo bannange ebintu bya ddala togaana kukikola kozesa MTN okusasula school fees w'omwana wo ng'onyiga star 165 star 80 ash banaye bya ddala si bya kyayi.
Together, we're unstoppable.
Once upon a time, there lived identical twins who gave birth to beautiful princes and princesses.
Their mothers gave their babies' bodies a lot of care by applying on their skin with baby Junior jelly.
Though dried their chariots and everyone would admire their glowing skin. Fun fact, baby Junior prevents diaper rash, dry and sensitive skin.
Moms all over Africa love baby Junior jelly. Baby Junior's the skin. No more worries anymore. Boo, 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 boo. Baby Junior. Baby Junior.
Oh, yeah, lighting up, stay fresh. You wanna compete, tell it be my yeah. Lighting, lighting. I did make a lighting up.
Thank you so much for watching. It's UBC News Tonight, and we now continue. The NGO Bureau, an umbrella body of the non-government organizations in Uganda, has made an appeal to President Yoweri Museveni not to assent to the NGO Amendment Bill of 2024. The NGO Amendment Bill 2024 seeks to merge the NGO Bureau with other government sectors doing similar work and placed under the Ministry of Internal Affairs. The chairperson of the Bureau, Simon Peter Chinove, told UBC that by nature of the NGO Bureau, it does not fall within the broader category of government entities that are characterized by duplicity of roles. And on the other hand, the country risks losing the 4.5 trillion Uganda shillings generated from NGOs annually.
To sign the NGO Amendment Bill 2024 and refer it back to the Legislative Assembly of the Parliament to consider the views of the civil society and also to look at the implications of this bill in as far as Uganda is concerned in fighting terrorism and anti-money laundering exercises.
Legislations should follow a due process. And I think one of the key components of a due process in any ideal legislation is robust consultation, mainly of stakeholders. The rationalization process did not take into consideration consulting the key stakeholders, which is the CSO sector, and which is going to be affected if the president assents to this particular law. So I think there is need, again, to re-echo the emphasis of reconsidering assenting to this bill.
My appeal is, instead of dissolving it, they should actually strengthen it so that it can handle the many NGOs. You've been told 5,900, bringing in a lot of taxes, a lot of money. They should think of strengthening the Bureau so that it could even improve on the contribution it's making for the government.
NGOs are equally affected, and we know that Uganda's funding, Uganda's donor aid traffic has reduced, especially in line with the recent enacted Anti-Homosexuality Act. That equally affects NGOs because the partners of government are the same partners of non-government organizations.
Sorority-based lawyer activist Joshua Okello has initiated legal action against the United Kingdom government following their decision to sanction Uganda's Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, on corruption allegations. To his cause, expressing no apprehension towards potential sanctions against him.
Joshua Okello, a Sorority-based law activist, says sovereign nations have autonomy to resist external interference.
We were colonized long time ago. We got our own independence in 1962, and that therefore guarantees that we have a right to make our personal decisions as a country. Britain does not have a right to come and dictate on us. These are two different states. That's what the entire world must understand.
He's challenging the United Kingdom government's sanctions against Uganda's Speaker of Parliament over corruption scandals.
As we speak right now, there is a case pending at High Court Civil Division, Kampala, whereby in that case I sued the United Kingdom, and as we are waiting, the court is supposed to fix the hearing date, and after the hearing date has been fixed, I'm very sure that the Attorney General of the United Kingdom will be served.
He asserts that he has no personal interest in the matter, but wants to defend the image of Parliament, which could be tarnished by the UK sanctions.
In this point, I'm not defending myself, but I'm defending the Speaker of Parliament of Uganda, who is representing 48 million Ugandans outside there. That's why she has carried that cross, because I'm very sure that if sanity is brought in here, it will not necessarily benefit her, but it will benefit the entire Ugandans at large.
Despite of looming potential consequences against him, Okello has made it clear that he will not back down from his mission, asserting that he harbors no fear of any sanctions.
So when you talk of the sanctions, what I can say is I don't think whether I would be sanctioned, despite the fact that I don't own assets or rather the property in the United Kingdom. Neither do I own even any pest there. So it is not my fear.
Okello is now waiting for the Kampala High Court to set the hearing date for his case, where the United Kingdom Attorney General will be served. Joseph Oko, UBC.
Over the years, we've dreamed to get onto the world stage. We've had that dream crushed. We've witnessed a total defeat of what could have been our greatest moment. We've felt our spirits go up, only to take a hard fall. We've had our fires burn out and leave only scars. We've seized the wind and had it pulled from our grasp. We've seen pain, and we've seen loss of the last fragments of hope. But we are made of resilience, and resilience never stops dreaming. So, we will dream even bigger with the Cranes Cup Bowl 2026. Together, let's take Uganda to the next FIFA World Cup.
Together, let's take Uganda to the next FIFA World Cup. For every Now special you buy, we will give 50 shillings to the Uganda Cranes 2026 fund. You will also get the chance to choose how the Cranes Cup Bowl contributions are spent. Now special, official beer of the FIFA World Cup and official beer partner of the Uganda Cranes.
Alcohol is not for sale to persons under 18. Please drink responsibly.
Fellow countrymen and women, especially the Bazukuru, as we work towards realizing Uganda's Vision 2040, it is important that we plan based on accurate information about our people and our resources. I therefore would like to announce the 6th National Population and Housing Census that will start on the 10th of May 2024. The information from the National Population and Housing Census will support government, the private sector, cultural and religious institutions, civil society, and development partners in service delivery. It will also provide the basis for planning the provision of social services such as education, health, and transport, among many others, at the national and local levels. When data collectors or enumerators come to your home during the census, please avail yourselves and provide them with honest answers to their questions. This is in order to enable them to process the most accurate information about you, your household, institutions, and community. I therefore call upon all political, cultural, and religious leaders, private sector players, civil society, the media, and the institutions of the government to support this key national program. The successful execution of this census will influence the well-being of all Ugandans and progress the country towards the desired socio-economic transformation. I wish you all a successful census for God and my country.
Uganda's biggest tourism and travel trade show of the year is here again. The 8th edition of the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo Poate 2024 under the theme Responsible Tourism will be taking place at the Speak Resort Convention Center, Munyonyo, from the 23rd to the 25th of May 2024. It's your chance to connect with tourism and travel professionals from across the globe. Discover travel holiday deals, packages, and so much more. Visit www.poate.co.ug to register and be part of the event. The Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo Poate is brought to you by the Uganda Tourism Board.
We thank you so much for watching UBC News Tonight. The Presidential Advisory Committee on Economic and Industrial Development has partnered with the Directorate of Industrial Training to train and certify the competencies needed in the labor market for socio-economic development. Presidential Advisor on Investments, Audrey Karamoja, has disclosed this while officiating at the 6th graduation ceremony at Mbarara Boma grounds.
Over 10,000 youth, women and men from Ankole sub-region have graduated in skills training to empower them create employment. The trainees learned soap making, animal husbandry, tailoring, shoemaking and bricklaying. They also learned value addition. These products will be marketed here and abroad to earn them a livelihood.
This training and certification is that you go start your own business, and hopefully it's in the 13, 14 products we are involved in for export. Hopefully we can catch you on standard. Hopefully we can find you a buyer. Hopefully we can finance the orders. This is, you have to build each level in order to lead into another.
During the graduation, the chairperson, Presidential Advisory Committee on Economic and Industrial Development, Uganda, Audrey Karamoja, charged the youths and women to utilize the available vocational skills to close employment gaps and reiterated government's commitment to promoting skills development. He was speaking at the 6th graduation ceremony at Boma grounds in Mbarara City.
Our own in our country. There is no success unless you really bring particular products to create industries. So, for example, the president launched here a tin factory not far from here a month ago. For you to succeed with tin, you must be assembling laptops, radios, and other things. But if you get tin and combine it with copper, which we have, then you can make brass. Brass is what we use on bullets, on vehicles. Industries have to be strong in order for investment to come in. You cannot have one company creating an industry. It takes a lot of time. So the point of unity is to help us create industries on value addition, on processing, on those things.
He said the Directorate of Industrial Training Partnership and the training packages are needed for Uganda's industrial growth. The Directorate of Industrial Training assessed and certified the graduates. The director encouraged the graduates to upgrade their skills so as to compete on the job market.
You have an occupation, that is a job, what to do. You have a call. You are a poultry farmer, you are a baker, you are a carpenter, then you qualify for assessment and certification. And once you are assessed and certified, this is the starting point. We call it modular.
Graduates exhibited upon the acquired long life skills as best graduates received startup kits. I'm Navka Farida and Henry Muganga.
Two creatives, Gloria Awori and Maganda Shakul, are winners of the Africa Creative Challenge by Motive. The two walked away with $6,000 each as funding grant after beating 8 other contenders.
Africa Creative Challenge by Motive is an innovative challenge designed to support creatives in the early stages of business development. It sparks creative innovation within Uganda's creative landscape.
So we are doing this as Motive because Motive is a creative hub and we support creatives across East Africa, even across Africa. And so why we are doing this challenge is to be able to bring together different creatives that are across Uganda, to bring them to one central point and be able to finance those projects so that they are able to propel them or scale them beyond just concepts that they have.
The two winners pitched great ideas originating from the creative disciplines of art, craft and environmental sustainability to beat 8 other teams to the award. Shakul Muganda pitched Street Flash Mob, an idea centric to the transformation of waste materials into new and useful artistic productions.
Yeah, so this one, it's a plastic gumboot. So it was a dead gumboot, then we wash it. When we get it, it's dirty, we first wash it. Then this one is a plastic from the party, which also we get down and we put it.
Gloria, in the other hand, pitched a contemporary jewelry school that offers in-person training in jewelry making and design.
With the training, there's the potential for the people you have trained to become trainers as well. So that is my vision, that I train someone, they go out, they are not only making the jewelry, but they're training someone else. And with this, we create a cycle of people that are spreading out, going to other parts of the world, passing on this skill.
A politician, an artist and one of the judges, Rachel Magola, gives an insight into the current state of Uganda's creative industry and what is required for it to thrive.
The creative economy in Uganda is very vibrant right now, and people are realizing that this is a sector where people can actually get employment. Most of our people are youth and they're more interested in the creative economy. So that is a good thing because we can engage our huge demographic of young people into the creative economy and they are interested. The only thing that I find are the challenges that they have to deal with, we do not have proper infrastructure to make sure that these young people can get their work out there without failing to move forward. And then we also do not have a monitoring system to register intellectual property. So people who are creating, how do they get their worth of their work when monitoring it is almost impossible?
The winners will enjoy mentorship, networking opportunities and venture development tools to give their ideas the best chance to evolve into sustainable and profitable businesses. Dennis Igoa for UBC News.
Over 300 farmers from Loreng-Edward, sub-county Nabilatuk district have received high-quality seeds from Nabuin Zonal Agricultural Research and Development Institute. This follows Ministry of Karamoja Affairs partnership with Nabuin Zardi to grow foundation seeds for distribution to farmers in the 9th district of the Karamoja sub-region.
Last year, Ministry for Karamoja Affairs partnered with Nabuin Zonal Agricultural Research and Development Institute to produce high-quality seeds for 115 farmer groups in the 9 districts of Karamoja sub-region. Over 300 farmers from Loreng-Edward sub-county Nabilatuk district have received quality seeds from Nabuin Zonal Agricultural Research Development Institute.
They are receiving their foundation seeds from Nabuin Sadi to go and multiply. And they get what we call a quality declared seed that will get into their members. So this is to resolve the issues of quality seed which the farmers access.
Kilograms of green gram cowpeas and then 2 kilograms of sorghum. So they should go and plant. We expect.
Scientists at Nabuin Zadi urged farmers to utilize the seeds and improve food security and income.
Will benefit with these short maturing varieties of sorghum and green gram. You'll be assured.
Green gram here at Choroko takes 60 days maximum. We are not giving you seeds to go and keep. We want you to go and multiply.
Dr. Anthony Raphael Ijala says the farmers will be monitored.
Teams of LOCs, the teams of parish chiefs together with the Nabuin technical staff will be following up these farmers to ensure that what they take is planted and they are managing it well until the harvesting time.
Farmers appreciated the seeds, which they said will improve productivity.
From the institute, we have received them. We will and well improve the seeds to Nabuin, Zadi, and of which I know it's going to change actually the livelihoods of my people, myself county.
But in getting these things so that when it's going to grow, to plant them after that it gets a profit. So it's going to plant so that they go after it gets a profit.
Actually, plant them, participate in those agronomic practices until the time of harvesting.
Currently, Karamoja is having rains, which will enable crops to thrive. I'm Navka Farida and Moriniga.
A senior dermatologist, Dr. Umar Musinguzi, has asked the young people to develop stress coping mechanisms in order to protect their skins from diseases and disorders. He was at the opening of a 3-day health camp at Isbat University.
Stress is an inevitable part of life, and while it may seem like a normal reaction to the challenging situations, handling stress is crucial to prevent its escalation into chronic conditions that can lead to diseases and depression. However, adopting holistic coping strategies that address both the underlying causes and symptoms of stress.
Stress is how you respond to pressure, okay? It can turn into anxiety or depression, but I'll give you 3 points. 1, accept the stressor. There are some things you can't do anything about it. Accept and move on. Another thing is alter the stressor. If you can do something about the stress, you can really do something to change how it is attacking you, how it is destroying you.
At the opening of a 3-day health camp hosted by Isbat University, the Vice Chancellor, Professor K.M. Matthew, emphasized nurturing physical health in tandem with academic pursuits.
I've really faced that a lot of issues are of the lifestyle, like they are unnecessarily stressed, or maybe they feel the stress is important for them, for their progress, but how to handle the stress, how to handle the time management, how to handle the different things in life, how to prioritize the different things. Health concern is very important because if we are living in a world and we are very much focused on technology, education. Initiative is basically to make some kind of free checkups, awareness, because awareness is what is prevention.
Physical health, it is the mental and spiritual health, like body, mind and soul. If you are physically healthy, but you are mentally and spiritually weak, it will give you problem.
The motto of Isbat University is empowering lives, and how can we empower lives without empowering their well-beings in the first place?
The increasing rates of drug abuse among youth are often linked to a deficiency in health education.
And the government should actually promote this initiative in every university as a must, because there are things outside school that cannot heal the mind, the body, which has led to the suicide rates, drug abuse. We have a lot of drugs in universities. Many young people are using substance abuse, that is alcohol and many other things. So, and because it's outside school curriculum and it helps people also to relax and also to interact beyond school curriculums. This is a very good initiative.
Services offered at the camp include malaria testing, cancer screening, eye and dental checkups, blood donations, among others. Mary Namgose, Irene Faith Nantongo, UBC News.
fellow countrymen and women, especially the Bazukuru, as we work towards realizing Uganda's Vision 2040, it is important that we plan based on accurate information about our people and our resources. I therefore would like to announce the 6th National Population and Housing Census that will start on the 10th of May 2024. The information from the National Population and Housing Census will support government, the private sector, cultural and religious institutions, civil society, and development partners in service delivery. It will also provide the basis for planning the provision of social services such as education, health, and transport, among many others, at the national and local levels. When data collectors or enumerators come to your home during the census, please avail yourselves and provide them with honest answers to their questions. This is in order to enable them to process the most accurate information about you, your household, institutions, and community. I therefore call upon all political, cultural, and religious leaders, private sector players, civil society, the media, and the institutions of the government to support this key national program. The successful execution of this census will influence the well-being of all Ugandans and progress the country towards the desired socio-economic transformation. I wish you all a successful census for God and my country.
Uganda's biggest tourism and travel trade show of the year is here again. The 8th edition of the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo Poate 2024 under the theme Responsible Tourism will be taking place at the Speak Resort Convention Center, Munyonyo, from the 23rd to the 25th of May 2024. It's your chance to connect with tourism and travel professionals from across the globe. Discover travel holiday deals, packages, and so much more. Visit www.poate.co.ug to register and be part of the event. The Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo Poate is brought to you by the Uganda Tourism Board.
Gear up, grab your running shoes and join the race for life. Run 42, 21 or 5 kilometers to equip Kisoro Hospital's very first ICU. Then, after the finish line, groove all night at the ultimate dance showdown with DJs and performers from Uganda and Kigali. Secure your sport at virungamountainmarathon.org and be a part of history. Save the date, June 1st, 2024 at Shaza Ground, Kisoro Town. Race for a cause. Run for life.
The death of Iranian President Raisi has left the world in shock. The man, who was known as a hardliner, died after his helicopter crashed due to poor weather in mountains near Azerbaijan border. But who exactly was this man? Henry Okurut has a look at this.
On 14th December 1960, Ebrahim Raisi was born in the Mashhad area of Iran. Raised in a clerical family, Raisi received a religious education, attending seminary in Qom in 1975, the foremost intellectual center of Shia Islam. This was at a time when Iranians were broadly dissatisfied with the then regime of Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi. Many of the seminarians at Qom were engaged with the revolutionary ideals of Ruhollah Khomeini. His interpretation of Velayat-e-Faqih, the guardianship of the jurists, sought to ensure clerical oversight of the government's policy and administration. Raisi was reported an active participant in the events of 1978-79 that drove the Shah into exile and established a system of government based on Khomeini's vision. After the Iranian Revolution, the inexperienced Islamic Republic faced a number of immediate challenges. These ranged from the Western-educated loyalists of the Shia to secularist left-wing dissidents to all-out war with neighboring Iraq. Raisi dedicated his career from the start to upholding the nascent regime against internal opposition. He underwent training in administration and soon joined the prosecutor's office in Masjid Suleiman in southwestern Iran. Over the next 6 years, he gained further experience as a prosecutor for various jurisdictions, including Karaj City, Hamadan City, and Hamadan Province. In 1985, he became deputy prosecutor in the country's capital, Tahran. From one career after another, Raisi found himself in politics, running for Iranian presidential elections in 2021. Here, he continued to project himself as a principal defender against government corruption, while at the same time voicing support for negotiating an international nuclear agreement that would take Iranian interests into account. It was his high profile that made him the clear frontrunner on the ballot, with most of his serious challengers disqualified weeks before the elections. With the voter turnout of slightly below 50%, he won by an overwhelming margin and was inaugurated in August 2021. During the Israeli-Hamas war that began in 2023, Raisi grew increasingly confrontational towards Israel. Amid his rising rhetoric against Israel and the historic visit to Saudi Arabia to discuss the war, Iran's allies across the region, including Hezbollah in Lebanon and Houthi forces in Yemen, stepped up attacks on Israel. When Israeli forces killed senior officers in Damascus in April 2024, Iran responded 2 weeks later by firing drones and missiles into Israeli airspace for the first time in the history of the two countries. Raisi threatened a severe response if Israel retaliated. But when Israel attacked a military complex in Iran, days later, Raisi remained silent on the matter as Iranian officials claimed the Israeli strikes had been intercepted. At the time of his death, in a helicopter crash, Raisi had embarked on a renewed tour to build ties with neighboring countries. A high-profile visit to Pakistan culminated in an agreement to boost bilateral trade to a tune of $10 billion over 5 years. Henry Okrut, UBC.
The Sedgwood Chess Cup, which was the first Grand Prix event of 2024, has climaxed at Nobview Hotel in Ntinda.
Uganda's international master Arthur Segwanyi has triumphed in the open category of the Sedgwood Chess Cup, in which he finished unbeaten with a 7.5 points.
This shows that I am getting good form to represent the country at the Olympiad. We're having World Olympiads later this year to have over 200 countries, so I'll be happy to represent Uganda there.
FIDE Master Haruna Nsubuga and Candidate Master Emmanuel Egesa finished second and third respectively at the event, where more than 200 participants took part.
People are flummoxed about chess. When you come to the hotels where people are playing, the parking lots are full, all hotels are full around. There's a business boom in the area. So chess means a lot to the communities around Ntinda today. It means a lot to the hotel owners. It means a lot to the chess players because the monies have gone up.
The open category was unique because of 3 girls, woman Candidate Master Sana Omprakash, Zurita Tina and Suhana Anil Yadav, who contested and posted good results against 108 men.
I have gained a lot of experience from this tournament. Like, I think now I know what mistakes I did and all. Hopefully next time when I'm playing in the open again, I'll come back stronger.
Why I decided to leave ladies section and go to open section,
Because like I want to improve on my game and get stronger in the future.
In the ladies category, woman candidate Master Shakira Ampaire needed a tiebreak to edge Pena Nakabo and Peshe Satela after all had finished with 6.5 points.
For the last round, it was a bit of an upset losing to a person in the last round, but thankfully, because I had already garnered so many points up to that point, I ended up still winning the tournament, and I'm so grateful to God for this joyful result.
The juniors category that had 71 players that contested a rapid chess climaxed with Sima Zion Kazora triumphing. The championship that played as the first Grand Prix event attracted participants from countries like Kenya, South Sudan and Rwanda.
Thank you so much for watching. That brings us to the end of this first edition of News Tonight. We'll have another one at 10 p.m. My name is Micheal Jordan Lukomwa with Elizabeth Nakakon and the whole team. We'll leave you with Nanteza here, Juliet, who has the weather forecast report.
Victoria Benson had scattered showers while others had sunny intervals. My name is Juliet Nanteza with the latest weather forecast from Uganda National Meteorological Authority. When you take a look at the satellite image, it shows that we have a continental region that has pushed the rain belt further north of our country. That's why most of the northern parts are active. Though we have a low pressure center on Indian Ocean that is sucking some of our moisture, and the Lake Victoria Basin is active because of the local effects. In the morning, Central, we expect to wake up with scattered showers along Lake Victoria Basin. Elsewhere, we expect sunny intervals. Eastern, we expect to wake up with scattered showers along Lake Victoria Basin. Soroti, we expect to wake up with sunny intervals. The western stretch, most areas we expect to wake up with sunny intervals apart from Kasese and Kabale, where we expect some light showers. In the north, we expect Kotido, Moroto, Kitugum to wake up with light showers, and the rest we expect sunny intervals. Later on in the afternoon, Central, we expect a maximum of 28 in Kampala. Nakasongola and Masaka, we expect a maximum of 29. And Mubende, we expect a maximum of 30 with light showers. Eastern, we expect thunder showers in most areas at a maximum of 29 along Lake Victoria Basin. Soroti, we expect a maximum of 30. The western stretch, we expect a maximum of 29 for Kasese and Masindi. Kabale Highlands, we expect a maximum of 23 with light showers in most areas. In the north, we expect most areas to have thunder showers at a maximum of 30. Elsewhere, Dubai, we expect a maximum of 38 with sunny intervals. Nairobi, we expect a maximum of 27 with showers. Cairo, we expect a maximum of 40 with sunny conditions, and London, we expect a maximum of only 19 with cloudy conditions. That's all we had for you from Uganda National Meteorological Authority. For more information, log on to our website. Have a blessed night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Kanuni mazima leka tujakuza mazaro kwa mukama ruhango wa busobozi bisaka agemyaka kienda netanu omukama ruhango wa busobozi bisaka akazaro 11 kwa mukaga tukweto kwa tuhaise orukumi rwenda 3 kitoma kiboizi aho bujuni obonaje kuza mazaro ake agemyaka kienda netanu haruka PM healing center muhoro tauni council kakadi Uganda Africa
kino tikija kundeka hasi nyina kusimbulira busimbuliraho omukoro kaigato kuja kubaho mukisai kya rubaija kapyemi international stadium ekinyaga kindi kirere ha Murundi endigiri nyagi kutakabani engala binkura kya burahia habwa abantu nyamwingi 10 kurwo mu nsonda zone zeseno abakuija kubaho obo ito tuhaise ibarali muri yonka omukama ruhango obusobozi bisako omujuni wayi webare kuzaru habwa muhibo no muniniro nyamwenge itwa abamazina abakwaya tujja kutandika ebiro byokwezi musanjo gwatu haise turi umuntu zina ntugondora nituchekecha nituligito orunyege nitu
tulya nitunywa nitugaruza mbabo munana mbabo mwenu mbabo komyege harunyege ngalabi hangalabi ngoma hangoma mpaka kumarayo batakunyumiza gatamba kwerora omukama ruhango w'obusobozi bisaka naralize abalimi ba gavumenti abo munsi muno hamuna abantu ba ruhanga inywena abo munsi enu kwijja kuba mukoro guno gwekitinisa ebiro byokwezi 10 eka abantu twena twolekera harubuka kapyami hilingi site hakasiki ni kwa biro byokwezi 11 itwena tuba mu Kisai kapyami International Stadium hakirekyo omukama ruhango w'obusobozi bisaka akwijja kujweka bahereza bayingi muno nabahereza malaika bagenda begese kigambo kyobumu abantu tuterane okwokera kwero kimu omugenyi mukuru akirekyo aliba His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda Yoweri Kaguta Tibuhaburwa Museveni engozi y'abantu ekane bibyo kwezi 12 tulisaba rutamba rwito rurungi nitsima mukama ruhango w'obusobozi bisaka abo kutukiza ndwara zetu z'emyoyo hamune emibiri
amasarwa kayisito w'obusobozi kagayikire
Nyati Motion Pictures brings you Tuko Pamoja, Kingdoms of the Moon Rwenzori segment. Who are the people occupying the foothills of the fabled mountains of the moon? What strings them together?
One way of identifying ourselves would be the Rwenzori mountain, where the god happy dwells.
In Uganda, we are called Bakonjo, Bakonzo, Baira. In Congo, we are called Banande.
Ababuisa barukiro wingi, na abamba barukiro wingi.
The Basongora community is a very old community here, Western Uganda and Eastern Congo.
So both Kasese, Toro were part of Bunyoro Kitara Kingdom.
We are similar people.
We are one. Use that word, Pamoja.
Premiering Saturday 25th May 2024 from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Ndere Center in Ntinda.
To get a ticket, call 0778 787 660. Tuko Pamoja?
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
The Journey program on UBC TV.
Hello viewers, my name is Patricia Bagaina Ejalo and I'm the Deputy Executive Director at Uganda National Bureau of Standards. The Uganda National Bureau of Standards has been in existence for 35 years with the sole purpose of formulating standards, providing what is needed to keep our people safe here in Uganda. Our mandate in UNBS is the formulation of national standards, is the enforcement of those standards, to ensure that our health and safety is covered, to ensure that there is fair trade in Uganda, and to ensure that we do this without affecting our environment adversely. Our vision at UNBS is to ensure that we have safety and quality for life. We want to ensure that this is something that is available to all the people all the time. So the services that we give that are there to ensure safety and quality, that is our vision. Safe and quality services for all. We have a mission as well, and our mission is to provide standards, conformity assessment, and measurement services for quality of life in this country. It's a main thing. This is our service. This is what we do every day, and we are required to ensure that what we are doing is providing quality to our people so that whatever they are trading in is safe. The traders are happy, the consumers are happy. So basically what we do in Uganda, and with reference to the agribusiness sector, our aim here is really to ensure that whatever is being traded in the agribusiness sector is meeting standards. We have provided the food standards that are available that govern all the products that we eat in this country. We are an agricultural-based country, so food standards are very well catered for. And the manner in which we do this is that we sit in what we call technical committees that are formed of experts from all over Uganda who decide what is in those standards. So we aim to provide those standards. We also aim to provide what I've mentioned as conformity assessment. Basically, these are services like testing, certification, inspection. It is what we do that ensures whatever we are checking is meeting the quality standards. So we have been around for 35 years, and we've been doing this in Uganda. We have grown. From when I first joined, which was in 1999, we were only about 70 people. Right now, UNBS has grown to over 500, and we continue to grow to be able to serve the country. So we are here to help people. How do we help the agribusiness sector? When we provide the standards, we need to make sure that they have the information about those standards. We do this in terms of stakeholder engagement. We do it in terms of our public relations and how we reach out to the different associations, people who are handling or trading in agribusiness. And our main aim is to get the information about the standards to them in a simple format that they can understand. We also have training activities here at UNBS, and we always encourage our members, please make use of these training activities. The more informed a person is in their business, the better they are at meeting the standards. We have some rules that govern the work that we are doing. We have a number of regulations, the certification regulations that govern how we give what everybody knows as the Q mark. When you see a product that has the Q mark, then you know that it has been certified by UNBS. And it means that product is meeting the requirements of the standards. We also have regulations that govern the market surveillance. We have to go into the market to make sure that the products in the market are meeting the standards. We cannot have people selling and affecting the health and safety of our consumers. We also have regulations that govern imports inspection. If you're going to regulate what is in country that is made within Uganda, you also have to regulate what comes into Uganda. And we have to do this in a fair manner because Uganda is a signatory to the World Trade Organization agreements. There should be fairness between domestic and importation. And that fairness is the Uganda standard. So we have regulations that govern those activities. We also have regulations that govern the legal metrology activities that we carry out. And people in the agribusiness sector need to be aware we have pre-packaged requirements. If you're going to pack your product in a specific amount, it must meet that requirement. If you're saying 1 kilogram, it has to be 1 kilogram. So we have regulations that govern the pre-packaged requirements for products that are in the agribusiness. So a lot of these regulations are available on our website. And I always encourage people, please, it is important that you are informed about what you legally have to meet. We have obviously some programs that encourage our members to participate and to partner with us. We have, as I mentioned a little bit briefly earlier, simplification of standards. We have partnered with a number of our development partners who have facilitated the simplification of the existing Uganda standard. For example, we have standards of hygiene. If you are in the food business, from whichever part of the value chain, you ought to know that hygiene is important. So we've simplified the requirements of the food and hygiene standard and produced pamphlets that are simple, pictorial, easy to understand. And we have shared this with a number of associations, and these are available to anybody who is interested. We have also started the Digital Conformity Mark. This is a program that we are now moving from paying us a lump sum for your certification. We are doing it per unit, which means it brings the price down, especially for the small and micro players. It means the cost of certification is a lot easier for them. And now they are paying based on what they produce. So the Digital Conformity Mark is a program that is going to facilitate very much members who are in the agribusiness sector. And we're also partnering with a number of other associations. We have a partnership right now with the Private Sector Foundation Uganda, the GROW project, which is supporting women who are small and micro producers. A lot of them are in the agribusiness. They are making food, they are making cosmetics, and all of this is based on raw materials. So this project is facilitating all the services that they get from us. They will be paid for by government. So we have a number of those arrangements, and we always welcome anyone who is interested. Please come and talk to us, and we'll be able to guide accordingly. Our services also help people to trade beyond Uganda. We offer what we call management system certification. Now, this goes beyond the product certification that we are all very familiar with, that ends with the Q mark. We go deeply into the system, the process of what somebody is doing, and we follow international standards. We are accredited to offer this certification. So when you get certification from us for ISO 9001, which is a quality management systems, or ISO 22000, which is food safety management systems, this certification is recognized internationally. And we offer that to those who are interested in trading beyond Uganda, beyond Africa, actually. The benefits that members get in working with us is that, number one, they get to understand what it means to apply standards in their work. They get to appreciate why they need to do what they are doing. Because we want people we are working with to understand that you're not doing this work primarily for UNBS. You're doing this to ensure that your business remains relevant. And I'm sorry to say, business doesn't start with money. It starts with the service that you are giving people. Do they need what you have? Now, if they get what you are producing, they like it and keep coming, that's where the money is. So the standards help our people to learn how to make a product safely, how to use their resources efficiently, how to ensure that they are comfortable with what they are doing. By the time they sell that product out there, they are the ones who are confident that their product is good. So they benefit by getting access to the domestic market here in Uganda, to the regional market, because we have mutual agreements within the East African region. All the bureaus of standards, we have agreed to accept each other's certification mark. So if you get the Q mark from UNBS, that gives you access to all the regional markets without inspection. So they will gladly take your product because they know that you have gone through UNBS, and we all have similar processes. So how do we want to help our people compete in future? We need to ensure that the quantity of safe products grows in Uganda. If we're going to sustain an export market, then we must make sure that the domestic, the availability of products meeting standards at the domestic level grows. You will not be able to sustain export when you don't have enough at home. So we need to make sure that more people get on board and get their products certified. Once we're able to feed Uganda with what we are making, the excess can be able to go outside without a problem, because now you'll have the quality available and the quantity as well. So we are seeing a role in facilitating export promotion by making sure the domestic market is available, because this has been the biggest challenge. People may meet the mark one day, but they get defeated by the quantity. So you're able to serve one contract, you can't do another one because there is not enough. So we are seeing the future really by helping in the export promotion, by helping with the import substitution. There are things that we should not be importing into this country. We are an agricultural-based country. Agribusiness is where we need to put our focus. We ought to be feeding our people and feeding others. And Uganda is capable of doing it. So we need to really look at that. As we are promoting export, we need to make sure we are also replacing what we have been importing that does not need to be imported into this country. So getting in touch with us is very basic. We are living in a very digital world these days. And so we have a lot of ways that people can reach us. First of all, other than our main office here in Bweyogerere, we have regional offices in Mbale, in Mbarara, and in Gulu. Now, these regional offices offer certification and testing services, and we also have market surveillance and legal metrology. Now, it costs quite a bit to set up a UNBS regional office. So for now, those are the ones we have. that can also do the testing. So the whole northern region can go to Gulu, the whole western region can get services from Mbarara, and the eastern region can get from Mbale. But we are also online. You don't have to come all the way to UNBS to get certification. Our certification system is an online system. You can be in West Nile. As long as you have internet, you will apply. We shall come, assess you, collect samples, test, and give you your permit without you leaving West Nile. So online systems work very well for us, and we have partnered very much with a number of associations who can actually help those who don't know how to use online systems. The government of Uganda has really invested in the quality infrastructure in Uganda, and a lot of that is under UNBS. We arguably have the best labs in Uganda that can do a lot of testing. So we want people to understand what it means by making sure that they purchase products that have been certified by UNBS. We want people to be confident, because the quality of the product, you see, when you buy a product that has been certified by UNBS, you know that UNBS has interacted with these people. On top of that, if anything goes wrong, because UNBS has interacted with these people, we are actually able to follow up whenever there has been a challenge. So you get redress. You see, it's not a closed loop. We buy a lot of imported products, but we can't do anything about them if something goes wrong. The person who made them is very far away. Okay? So we, as UNBS, are looking at people to understand that a lot of effort has gone into providing these services. We need people to please look out for them, and feel free to make comments about the products that you buy in Uganda that have that Q mark. We are looking forward to hearing that feedback. The people who produce welcome feedback from those who use their products. They are right here in Uganda. We shouldn't fear. In fact, before they come to us, they ought to have communicated to the person who made that product if they found a problem with it. So we are in the business of trying to build trust in the produce and products that have been made in Uganda. Uganda is arguably a country that is able of not just feeding the whole region where we are in, the eastern region, East African region. We can actually feed Africa. In certain products, we are capable of doing it, but we must meet the standards. We must go through what is needed for us to ensure that we are producing quality products. So we're looking at our fellow Ugandans. Get interested in your own product. We are the people to critique our own people, to force them to start doing better. We cannot continue to rely on imported products. So we're looking forward to building that kind of trust, to assure people that when a product has been certified by UNBS, rest assured we have done the work required to keep our people safe. Of course, as any government institution, we have a number of challenges. The highest, of course, being getting the budgetary support that we need to be able to do this work. Now, that will always be a cry for us. But in the meantime, we've tried to come up with different ways to keep things going. We partner with private sector. Right now, we have even recognized private labs that do the work like us or better, so that we can expand the scope of testing. What are we doing? We are saying this is not the work for UNBS alone. We are open and willing to partnering with those who are able to invest in this sector so that we can recognize them. It is not just a walk in the park. We have to be assured they can do the work the way we expect them to do, following international standards. And then we provide them with access so that people can come and get testing from other labs other than UNBS. So that's part of what we are doing. You know, how can we open up and work together with private sector to make this a possibility? We are definitely, as I mentioned, we have 540 people right now looking after 47 million people. The numbers don't tally. So we are greatly challenged when it comes to human resources. Right now, on average, it takes you 4.5 months to get certification from us, from the time you apply to the time you get the permit. And a big portion of that time, the first 2 months, you've applied, but you're waiting for us to come. If you entered our system now and I showed you the log, the schedule, if you apply today, we are coming to see you in July, because it is full every day. the demand for our services is much higher than the resource capacity we have. So we are able to do as much as we can, but it takes long because of the limited resources that we have. So that's a big challenge. And then again, a lot of what we're doing is science-based. And so we are obliged to keep in tune with the speed of technology and how it is changing. So in some instances, technology can move a little bit faster than us, and we are playing a catch-up game. So that's partly, that's a challenge for us, but in the science world, we must keep track of what's going on and see how best we can manage within what is available here in Uganda. We have to enforce what is in that market, okay? And it's important that consumers begin to demand for quality. You can no longer just buy something for the sake of buying it. When you go to buy water today, nobody's going to buy water that does not have the Q mark. That's a big deal. Why would you even do that? So when we are buying pesticides, who has checked it? This is the thing. As consumers, we must demand who is regulating this and can it be done? So we know there's regulation under the Ministry of Agriculture, and the Ministry of Agriculture has to be supported to do this work. The value chain is big. We know when we talk value chain, we have to talk about farmers, everybody, the producers, the transporters, the stores, anyone adding value, everything until the end. Now, it is not UNBS alone that is the only regulator. We are in this with our colleagues in Ministry of Agriculture. So if you support one and not the other one, the value chain is not closed. So this is the reality. We must have enforcement supported by government. And I must request consumers, demand for quality. The reason why some of the first world countries are always, their consumers are well informed, and it is the consumer who demands, I will not have this. So our consumer needs to be knowledgeable as well. Part of the issue is, yes, there is a problem with how the fake pesticide is coming, but there's also a problem with looking for cheap things. So can we regulate that sector? We as government need to do our bit, but the consumer also has to learn to ask for the right thing. To government, the appeal that I have is we need to put funding where we are interested in. I understand that funds are limited, but if we want to really build on export promotion in agribusiness, then we must put enforcement there. We have privatized as a country. Now, privatization means business is done by the private people in the simplest of terms, but that means government must regulate to put the private sector in check. If we don't regulate, then the market is unfair. Products that are meeting requirements and products that are not meeting requirements are in the same market, and the consumer is confused. So enforcement is key, and government needs to support that. For the consumers, I'm asking for consumers to become interested in what they ought to know. It's not always, it's hard for UNBS as an institution to be with everybody at all times. We need a curious consumer who is looking for information and wants to know what is available and what should I do to make the right decision. So we are asking our consumers, become interested, ask for quality, seek for it. How do you know something is safe? Just like if I give you guidance about milled flour, as long as you have the Q mark on a milled product, then you know where to go. The product has been looked at by UNBS and it is safe. If there is a problem, you still have somewhere to go. So let us get interested in buying what has been checked. Don't just buy something for the sake of paying little money. We need to spend a little bit to get something good to prevent spending a lot when the diseases come and we can't afford to heal ourselves. Of course, as UNBS, our number one thanks goes to the government of Uganda, because as much as we may not have got what we need, we have gotten what has been given to us to enable us to do the work that we have done all these 35 years. We have partners that we have worked with, and I must mention a few. PSFU, which has more or less become the peak private sector institution, bringing all the others together. We have partnered with them in helping a number of MSMEs, especially recovering from COVID, and now we are going into another project to help support the women. So we do have a lot of people that we say thank you to in the sector, in the government sector and in private sector. We also want to thank the media, and in particular UBC that is here today, for this kind of time that you give us to be able to talk to people so that they can relate with us, understand who we are. We also get to know who they are, and they're free to know that we are an institution that is open for anybody to come and ask for whatever information they need. So I also want to thank the staff of UNBS. The staff of UNBS work extremely hard in very difficult circumstances. So we want to ask people to, yes, appreciate the team that is working in a very hard way. They are committed to doing the work that they are doing. So thank you very much for making the time to be here. And I also want to thank the Agribusiness Forum. They are the ones who've reached out to us. They have supported the work of simplification of standards. They're even doing some of it themselves, which is wonderful. They are very interested in making sure that the people in the agribusiness sector understand what it means to implement standards. I cannot ask for anything better than that. So UNBS is in Boyogerere. We are in the industrial park in Boyogerere. You can't miss it. Standards House, but all our contacts are available on the website. We do have a toll-free line, which is 0800-133-133. We have our website, www.unbs.go.ug, which has a lot of information. And that's why I always ask people, be curious. Get in there and learn many things. And on the website, you'll be able to see our social media presence, how you can interact with us on a daily basis. So I want to thank all the viewers who have been watching and have listened to what we have to say about UNBS. Thank you for participating in this story we've given of the journey of UNBS these last 35 years and our relationship to the agribusiness sector. We're asking everybody, please, let's take quality and safety as part of our daily lives. That's what we are here for as UNBS, and we look forward to being of service to all the people in Uganda for God and my country.